The heart of early Oswego was Main Street. Here, merchants sold goods to local farmers. Wagons rolled through town carrying grain, livestock, and supplies. Hotels welcomed travelers. Churches gathered families together, and neighbors met not as strangers, but as friends. Local businesses served as gathering places. Store owners knew their customers by name. Children rode their bikes downtown. Families gathered for celebrations, parades, and community events. The buildings may have changed over time, but the sense of connection has remained. Many longtime residents remember a town where everyone knew everyone. A place where friendships lasted a lifetime, and community wasn't just a word, it was a way of life.
Well, for me, being that I live on the Prairie Fest parade, or all the parades, just this last Memorial Day parade, seeing the little kids with the flags waving, and it really moves you as an American. Mm-hmm. The people going to the cemetery was longer than the parade.
Good.
Which was awesome. Oh, another memorable moment, Y2K. Mm-hmm. We got the $12 million electric bill. I made CBS News for that.
Yes, I remember that.
Let's talk about another great memory, Dinelli's. I met them when they were across the river, and then once they moved there, that was a major heart loss. 43 years, I mean, they were due retirement.
Well, if they could have gone another 15, I'd have been happy.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
What's your earliest memory of downtown Oswego?
I was probably in about second grade or so, and I remember having friends who lived in town, and that was a big deal to stay at their house, because then I could go to downtown Oswego, and they had a library. It was about this wide, I think, and it was right between two other buildings, like right around cars, and I just remember it being very narrow, but walking in and there being bookcases all the way up to the ceiling, and it was so amazing. And I got to check out Nancy Drew books and Black Stallion books, and go to Bones grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing too. And Cars, we had to go to Cars to get our school supplies every year.
It was a funny thing being right across the river from the drag strip. If the wind was blowing in the right direction, I could hear the announcer. And I think my mom made my brother take me, because I went there a couple times and saw it as a young kid. Do you remember that when they would have a jet car, they had to stop traffic? And you know what else they would say? The Jacqueline shop. Yep. Because all the women in Chicago would come out here.
Yeah.
And that was Jacqueline shop and the drag strip is what we were known for.
It was just seemed like the place where you always saw everybody. You could go to town and always run into people that you knew. You'd stop and have conversations. And all the different events that they would have downtown, to be involved with all of that. Oswego is fantastic. And as I said, this is where my Pierce family started out, and I intend to finish it here.
He had his landscaping business, and of course I worked for him. And then he had two boys. I had two boys. But his oldest son went on to school, and he has the business now. Now, his son has got the business.
Wow.
So that's 3 generations.
Yeah.
My oldest son, from his day he walked out of school as a senior, he went to the Marine Corps and wound up being a lifer for 20 years. He's retired now. And
good for him.
Yeah.
And what I loved about Oswego was the fact that everybody was so nice, and I loved the brick streets, and it was just such a warm, friendly town. Everybody was so kind, and everybody gave back to the community. I was looking for a picture of the building that we have now, that used to be the Jacqueline Shop Tea Room, and I think it was quite interesting how we purchased it. Because Ken Pickrell said, Jackie and I are going to retire. And he stopped my husband in the middle of Main Street and he said, "Bobby, do you want the Jacqueline shop or do you want the tea room?" And Bob said, "I'll take the tea room." And he comes back to the office and he said, "You know, honey, how you wanted to retire at 55? He said, well, I won't say what he really said.
Yeah.
But anyway, and I said, "How much was it?" He goes, "I don't know. I just said I'd buy it."
I ended up as chairman and president for the last 20 years. So. And at the same time, I in 70, actually before I joined the fire department just like my dad and followed in his footsteps and never became chief or anything. But anyway, I did that for 41 years. So I look back at those times in favorable fashion, you know. And just like I told the story of bringing the water out, there'd be times that, you know, Thursday afternoons, because we were closed at noon on Thursday, or Sundays or whatever, somebody call and they need a part or something, and my dad would run down to the hardware store and turn the key in the door and let the guy in and get the parts he needed. Because in those days, you didn't just replace everything, you fixed things.
Right. I'm Mark Harrington. I moved to Oswego from Sandwich in 1961. So when we moved here, we had running water, you know, for the first time inside the house. The first Halloween, I remember how the country kids came in on a hay rack because they had another place to jump off and get candy. Growing up was a lot like Mayberry. It was a small town. When we moved here in 61, I think there was 1,100 people. Then it grew to 1,300. You know, it had a great park district. When we got the Civic Center pool, we thought that was phenomenal because we could walk up to the pool. And then we played Little League ball. And then we had a great library. One of the people that, you know, was so welcoming at the library was Millie Green.
Oh,
she also went to our church, but she also, you know, you go in as an adult and she would remember you. Things going for us. We had a downtown that you'd get your hair cut. You'd go to Schuler's drugstore and get a Jolly Rancher or a milkshake candy bar, and you would go to the library, and you did it all by riding your bicycle.
So how long did you own the car dealership downtown, and then you moved up to Boulder Hill?
30 years.
Wow.
Finance dealer for 30 years.
And what was your slogan? Ugly little showroom?
Ugly little showroom when it was downtown.
Downtown, yeah.
And of course, we moved up to Boulder Hill to what was Empire Ford originally.
Right.